right. How's it going, you guys? It's good to see, well, maybe good for you to see me. I miss you, honestly. It's sort of weird to not be with you every other day. Today and yesterday, today's Tuesday, by the way, if you're watching this as a recording. Today would have been the day that all of the third quarter stuff is due, and I put in grades on Thursday, and it's like, okay, nobody's here. It just feels very surreal, I'll say that. What I want you guys to know is that you're awesome. Everyone's doing great. Okay, some people are sick, whatever, but hopefully your sphere of influence is doing okay. Mine's doing great. My kids are all healthy. My wife is healthy. I'm healthy. Our dog is keeping us happy. Sugar's doing great. So, just do what you can to stay healthy, stay safe. Hopefully you're stocked up on what you need, toilet paper and bottled water. I'm just kidding. Hopefully you are stocked up on what you need, though. I went to Winco last night, and I just marveled at all the things that were missing, right? Bananas, dog food. I'm like, really? Well, okay. Everyone's freaking out about stuff. And I was apparently limited to 1 dozen eggs, which is bizarre. I've got here my sanitizing wipes, and got some good spray going on. Keep the bad juju out of the air. Orange flavor, well, not flavored, but scented, orange scented. All right, so what I want to do is I want to, number one, address what was going on with third quarter. Third quarter, because we were kind of in the middle of a thing, right, and we just kind of got interrupted. And funny story, all of our photos and Lightroom assets and stuff are over here on the computers, right? Unless you have it at home. If you have access to your own photos, your own Lightroom and things, that's awesome. In a minute, I'm going to show you guys, if you don't remember, how to get Adobe at home. Some people have asked me how to download the programs at home. So I want to play that video. But then I also wanted to talk about the next assignment. Because we're kind of putting the Evoking Emotions project on hold, what are we doing in its place until we get back? Well, I wanted to show you that today so that we have something to do that, you're not out of school. School's not closed. I'm still in the school, right? So school's still going on, just on an online basis. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes what that assignment is. So let's first start off with how to get Adobe at home. A lot of kids have asked me how to make that happen, and I will play this video. I'll also give a link to this video too so you can access it. But let's take a look at how to get Adobe at home. Here it is.
Hey, in today's tutorial I wanted to teach you how to get the Adobe programs at home. This is for any 7th through 12th grade students and faculty and staff in the Granite School District and all the many other Utah school districts who have signed up for UEN's agreement with Adobe. UEN has partnered with Adobe to bring all of their Adobe apps to any 7th through 12th grade students, any faculty, any staff. This is a pilot program, and they want to see if it takes off and a lot of people download it. And if they do, then they're going to see if they will continue it from year to year. I think it's a great opportunity that I think a lot of people don't know about. And if they do know about it, even still, they don't know maybe how to access it. So I was hoping maybe to shed some light on that. The first thing you do is go to adobe.com, and in the top right corner, hit sign in. Now when you go to sign in, there's an option for a personal account or an enterprise ID. You're going to click enterprise ID. And for faculty, it is the usual way that you log in at graniteschools.org. And for students, it's the 9 number, your 9 number that you use to log into computers at graniteschools.org. Don't put in your Granite SD account. It has to be the 9 number at graniteschools.org. And then your password is just the password that you will use to log into any computer in the district. Once you're in, there's a button that says download apps, and it will take you to a big long list. Don't download all of them here. This is just a place where you can see which ones you do have access to. The one that you want to download is called the Creative Cloud Desktop app. You can think of it as like a launcher for all of the other apps that you're going to download onto your computer. Once you have that one downloaded onto your computer, you can select the ones that you want to download. When you're at school in the lab and you're going to use one of these programs, it should already be loaded onto your computer. If not, talk to your teacher about it. Before you use the programs, you'll need to log in. Go to the Adobe icon in the top right corner. You will be prompted to log in the same way you logged in at home. Click on Enterprise ID. Use your 9 number at graniteschools.org. Remember, don't use your 9 number at granitesd, it won't work. And then your password is the password you use to log into the computer. You can download the Adobe apps onto as many computers as you want. However, you can only sign into 2 at a time. So for example, if you're using the Adobe programs at school, and you also have an Adobe login running at home, and then you move to another computer at the school, it will ask you to log out of one of your other active sessions. Now, mobile devices don't count as one of your 2. So if you have, say, Premiere Rush or one of the other programs that are available on mobile devices, that won't count against your 2 that can be logged in at the same time. Use this to your advantage. Like I said, this is a pilot program to see if enough people are going to use it. Hopefully they can continue it in later years. I think it's a great opportunity for us. If you need to log into another computer and you forget how, check back in and watch this video again. Hopefully it will help you remember how. Thanks, see ya.
Nice. All right, sounds good. So keep that in mind if you need to download the Adobe programs at home, and you have all access to all of them until you graduate. So take advantage of it. You can get Lightroom Classic. Remember, there's a difference there. Lightroom and then Lightroom Classic. You want the one that has the blue-gray, not the like blue-green with the rounded corners. The one you want is Lightroom Classic. That's the one that professionals use. Let's see. And the other thing about that video is really the only difference I've found between the video when I made it in September and now is that September it asked, like, is it an enterprise ID? Nowadays, when you go to adobe.com and you type in your name, it just recognizes, at graniteschools.org, that means it's a school account, not a personal account. It does that automatically now. So please, when you get in there, the biggest thing is don't type in at granitesd. It's going to make a personal account for you and ask in 7 days to pay for it. And you don't want to do that. You don't want a free trial account. You want the real thing. So of course you're going to set that to at graniteschools.org. Right on. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of fun with this with this assignment. Like I said, we're kind of putting things on hold a little bit in terms of, like, the third quarter project. We're working on evoking emotions. If you still have some photos to take for that, go out and shoot. That would be awesome. In the meantime, though, a lot of us have shot already for that and have edited and are ready to move on. I want to introduce another thing, actually kind of similar, really, to the Evoking Emotions project that will allow us something to do. Now, honestly, if you don't have a nice camera, you don't have a DSLR, guess what? You can still do this project. If you could just take it on your phone, right? You can do this project too. You've probably seen, here, let's go to it. You've probably seen on Instagram this great photography account called Humans of New York. And it's all these beautiful stories of individuals that are willing to share deep things about their life, about their person, like why they are in the situation they're in. Consider it, a photo blog. It's by this guy named Brandon Stanton. Pretty cool. I tried to. Here, I'll show you. When I went to the website, cool website, but because I'm on the school network, it blocked Instagram. So funny, it started as an Instagram account, but I can't access the Instagram. Go to the Instagram on your own personal device, and you will see how cool it is. The other one, he has a Twitter account too, which does virtually the same thing. So let's scroll down, right? There's all these different stories. And the great thing is he asked all these really poignant questions to people. Like, when you do this, ask kind of deep, pointed questions. Not like to prod at people or poke at their lives or ask things that, are inappropriate to, how you know those people or whatever. This guy, Brandon Stanton, knows how to access people. Like, he knows how to just get a really deep answer out of someone, even if he barely knows them or doesn't know them at all. So that's kind of the neat thing about his the way that he does this. What I thought was cool, let's scroll down a little further. There's a recent one, right? If somebody talking about having, addiction recovery and withdrawals and stuff, just different people's life stories. A couple hours ago, I was on his Twitter, reading a couple of these stories, just kind of mesmerized by them. Because it's amazing, every person you meet has their own story. They have their own likes and dislikes and backstory and where they came from and who they love and who they hate and like what they've been through in life. It's pretty amazing. So going, through, I think it's a little further down. This one. Okay, so I spent a good long time. Find this one. The guy's name was, well, it depends on who you ask, Bobby Love. But little did his wife know that about, over 40 years before that, he had lived somewhere totally different with a different name and got into trouble and broke out of prison one time, and he's been on the run for 40 years under an alias, and he got married, he had 4 kids, and like, what? This is crazy. And anyway, so because it's in a Twitter format, they had to break it up into many segments. So it's actually, a whole lot less per thing. But I ended up reading every single one of them because it was just a really crazy story. Man. Anyway, so that's Humans of New York. If you're not familiar with that, go to the Humans of NY, either Instagram or Twitter, and you'll see a lot of their stories pop up. You're going to do something similar called Humans of Salt Lake, right? And for some reason, this video that we're currently watching is not wanting to embed into our Canvas assignment. It is, however, wanting to embed into our announcement. So maybe this is just an old version or something. It's cached an old version, who knows. But it is in the announcement. If you need to come back to watch this video, it's right there. So hopefully you've seen the Instagram account, Humans of New York. If you haven't yet, go check it out. It's very cool. The photographer, Brandon Stanton, goes out on the streets of New York and asks just complete strangers if they'd share a bit of their story with him. Often he asks them pointed questions that would seem to give a deep response. Or he asked them to recount a time when their life took a dramatic shift, right? I always wonder, like, what he asks people. He never says what he asks them. He just gives their answers. And I wonder what deep question would have provoked a overarching story like that. That's just so deep. You will do the same, right? You're going to create 3 of these. Create 3 Humans of Salt Lake posts, these stories of other people, just like those that Humans of New York creates. Identify 3 people with unique stories. People that you know, please, right? As much as I think it would be cool if you went out and like interviewed random people and got like the story of a homeless person or something. That would be cool, but also kind of risky, right? It would be kind of dangerous to go out and just interview random people that were possibly dangerous. So I don't want you to do that. I would much rather that you interview people that you know. So ask them here. Identify 3 people with unique stories. Brandon goes out and talks to strangers, but for your safety's sake, you will interview people you know, please. Ask them questions. Ask them a question that evokes a deep response. For example, who has influenced you the most? Or when was a time in your life that your life took a sharp turn? Come up with your own questions too, right? One of the hardest things when you're coming up with an interview is, what do you ask? How do you create a question that just gets someone to say the right thing at the right time. To kind of evoke that one question that you're hoping to hear, or that one response that you're hoping to hear. So come up with your own questions too. I recommend recording their response with a voice memos app on your phone. This is kind of a two-part process. Number one is the photo. Number two is the story behind the photo, the story behind the person. So you need to know what that story was, so you either write it down really quickly or just, on your phone, get out the voice memos app and record that. So record that, and then you'll write it out as the post for this after. Take a photo of them before, during, and after the interview. But, as you're taking pictures of them, please actually listen to them. You can't just kind of like, and then take pictures. Then their story might not be as authentic because they don't feel like you're listening, right? So actually listen to them. And then from your shoot, right, just choose one solid, candid photo that's a genuine portrait that really portrays them on a human level. Right? It's not just, this is some nice picture of them, but it really gets at their humanity. That's the photo I want to see. And then, look at Humans of New York. Every single one of those photos is just deep and abiding because, they're sharing their soul during, maybe before, a lot of times after he takes the picture. So they'll share the story, and then, now that they're all emotional or something, then they take the picture. They're pensive, they're thinking. So you catch the moment at the right time. So either post those as actual Instagram posts to your personal Instagram account, and then just either give me the link or take a screenshot of it. Or the other option is, if you don't want to post it to your own personal account, is that you can kind of fake those in Photoshop, right? You can say, maybe a picture on one side, and then a picture on one side, and the text, the bio, the story on the left side. Picture on the one side, interview on the other. You're going to make 3 of these, and you submit all 3 of those to Canvas. You guys know Humans of New York. It has that kind of format of a picture. Let's pull up here. How about this one? There's a picture, and then this one, I think it was on Facebook. But anyway, so that's the idea. Some of them are really short, right? Some of them just evoke a really short answer. Like here, what was the happiest moment in your life? I don't think I have one yet, but it's probably coming up, and it's going to be a surprise. What a genuine thing to say. That's cool. And then, you get people that are down on their luck. You get people that are, stressed or hurting. But it's just a very rich... Excuse me, is there any way I can take your photo? I run a blog called Humans of New York, and I'm trying to document all the neighborhoods of New York by photographing the people who live here. I didn't hear a word you just said. That's such a good... I love it. That's funny. Anyway, so that's your assignment, right? We've been working on evoking emotions, and I think this is really, really related to that. Talking about, the emotion of the backstory that someone has. Everyone has a backstory. If you think, I'm just, I don't have a story. No, everyone has a story to be told. And it's your job in this project to go out and find that, to make it happen. I think this will be a fun project. I think it will be thought-provoking, hopefully. And so take the time to do that. Identify those people that you want to make a post of. It could be just, friends or family that you're close to. Not too close. You want to keep social distancing, right? No, I'm just kidding. Don't put yourself in a place that you could get sick. But I do want you to have, a real authentic connection with someone when you take these photos. So, awesome. I'm proud of you guys. I miss you. I legitimately miss you. I wish you were back. I wish, all of this was not going on, but it is. So we have to just kind of roll with the punches. You guys are awesome. I have full faith in you. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you real soon. Later.